Joining me now to break down the numbers is Taylor Schreiner, Senior Director of Adobe Digital Insights. Taylor, thank you so much for joining. And clearly shoppers were in a buying mood. What were they buying?
Clearly, it was a race to the holiday season here as we come to December 2nd, and shoppers were seeing amazing deals on computers, on toys. They were buying video games, they were buying handheld video game devices, they were buying electric scooters for their kids and for themselves. I myself bought a bunch of board games over the weekend, which is interestingly a hot selling item. A lot of families picking those up headed into the holiday season as we all race through the next 3 weeks to get gifts under the tree or wherever they go.
What were some of the biggest deals, Taylor, that you were witnessing over the course of Cyber Monday?
Well, we took a look at billions of transactions. We look at hundreds of millions of products, and we look across massive categories of business. And one of the things that we see is that if, for instance, you were buying a computer yesterday, you were probably paying about 30% less for that computer than you would have paid at the beginning of, say, October. So there's some enormous deals there. Apparel also was one of the biggest discount categories that we saw. People buying shoes and clothes and jackets as the temperature finally turns down. And then obviously video game devices were a big seller going into the season, and that's where you start to see that today. As if you have not bought all of your gifts, you're going to see some of the deepest discounts in electronics and other categories as you go into today and through the season.
Do you expect spending to continue, Taylor? And if people weren't able to take advantage of Cyber Monday and Black Friday, can they anticipate more deals?
Gosh, I hope so, because I certainly don't have everything bought yet. Yes. So we expect spending to continue apace as we go through what is a short season between Thanksgiving and the holiday season. And we expect people to be able to continue to find deals. You just have to look a little harder. You have to follow your emails. You have to look for the specific item that you need or your loved one needs or your friends or family are looking for, and track that down and keep an eye on it. In fact, one of the things that people are increasingly using right now are AI assistants to try and figure some of that stuff out. We've seen about a 20 times increase in the use of Gen AI shopping assistants going into this year. So people are making use of whatever they can to make sure they get the deals over this holiday season.
How are you finding that Gen AI and those shopping assistants that you mentioned, Taylor, are aiding in the shopping process?
Well, they hit a number of layers of the shopping process. I think any of us who are shopping, even for ourselves, but certainly for loved ones, ideation, thinking about what it is that's going to be interesting is a big assist for Gen AI, but also location and pricing. So they're finding where these items might be and where they might have some of the better pricing or other bundling or shipping deals that are available. So they're doing a lot. We don't see a lot of people using them, but we see an increasing number picking them up.
Hard to turn down a deal, that's for sure. But of course, we know credit card debt also near or at a record high. How have you seen the popularity of buy now, pay later take part in these shopping holidays?
So we have, in previous years, we've seen sort of a skyrocketing of buy now, pay later behavior, which is, going to a website, you see the little button at the end, and you can pay in, say, 4 monthly payments or over a period of time. What we've seen is that people are increasingly using that service, but they've spread their financial instruments around, so that they're also using credit cards and debit cards and other means, so that it isn't on quite the skyrocketing path that it was, but it is still an increasing area of interest for consumers, especially younger consumers and consumers who are looking to spread some payments across time.
We have jobs data on tap all week long, Taylor, and of course inflation is very much a part of this story as well. How does inflation fit into the picture of the activity that we've seen the past 5 or 6 days?
Well, we've seen a massive increase, as you mentioned, in what people are spending. $10.8 billion on Black Friday, $13.3 billion yesterday. And we went to the pricing data to figure out, are those real? Are the people buying real stuff? goods and services, or are they is it inflation? And one of the interesting things is that while the broader economy has been on its own inflation trajectory, what we have seen in the digital world is that the basket of goods that people buy online have generally gotten less expensive over the course of the past 2 years or so. So that basket's about 2.93% less expensive now than it was, say, in 2022. And that has led people more and more online. So if you are already concerned about your pocketbook and you're looking for the place to start shopping, you're going to look online because that's where the cheaper products tend to be, and that's where prices are decreasing. And then especially in this season, we're seeing very high and near record discount rates in a number of categories. And so that's really attracting consumers to the online space as well.
Taylor Schreiner, thank you so much for joining, especially after a late Cyber Monday. Taylor's the Senior Director of Adobe Digital Insights.